agenda of the 22nd batch of the Master of Business Administration Program graduation ceremony of the Justice K.S. Hegde Institute of Management, NMAMIT, Nitche. This is a flagship solemn academic function of our institute. Ladies and gentlemen, this ceremony will be presided over by the most respected Dr. Niranjan N. Chiplonkar, members of the faculty will set out from the entrance of our institute exactly at 10:25 a.m. and this ceremony is led by Dr. Venkatesh Kamath Yachi, who is the Deputy Controller of Examinations of the Nitte Mahalinga Adyanthaya Memorial Institute of Technology. Ladies and gentlemen, now all our guests are getting into the lighting of the lamp. Professor Karthik and Professor Rakesh Shetty are now coordinating the whole show with the support and cooperation of all members of the faculty and non-teaching staff. Once the lighting of the lamp is over, at 10:25, the ceremony would set out from the entrance with the coordinatorship of Dr. Venkatesh Kamath holding the mace, and all guests, dignitaries, faculty members, along with the students, will usher the auditorium sharp at 10:30 a.m. This is a small announcement at the desk of the Master of Ceremonies to everybody. You are all requested to comply to the agenda of the graduation ceremony of our institute. Ladies and gentlemen, the program agenda has been specified in the invitation, and we requested all our students who will be receiving the certificates today to kindly comply to the agenda. Professor Karthik and Professor Rakesh Shetty are coordinating the show. Now the time is almost like 7 minutes to 10:30 a.m. I request all of you to get up to this ceremony. It would be of some 2 hours, 30 minutes program in the auditorium, and everything will go in accordance with the agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly note this very carefully, and all students again requested, I repeat, all students again requested to line up in accordance with the direction of Professor Kak. All faculty members are not like in the nature, like the land, to often Late Justice Kaudu Sudan Hegde, former Speaker of Lok Sabha and the former Judge of the Supreme Court of India. Once again, Swati and Swati to all honor to be pleased to all faculty members and not staff, all give such occasions, both of them citations, catalogs today. We also listen Dr. Shri, the Director of Institution Innovation Center in University. Welcome to this system. Ladies and gentlemen, number 2025, I'm sure that all students and faculty members are together for the ceremony. The procession, I'm very sure, the procession is getting ready, and ladies and gentlemen, what we start our kindly take position. Kindly take position. Ladies and gentlemen, the 22nd graduating ceremony of the Justice Institute of Art is now set to make an activity. Deputy of the Procedural of XXII, Dr. JKSHIM Graduation, along with me, the President of the Council, Dr. our Executive Director, Dr. Executive Director, the Master Director of the Bangalore Conference and Technical Committee, which is a daily occasion. We have the initiative from the directors of our institute, and we have all the chief managers, not the staff, along with the students, the water society. Dr. the Chief Executive Officer of the MBA Graduation Center. All members, please stand in my body. Please place your respectful vote on the students that will be both have competition. Please occupy my respectful vote and it is your whole 22nd Master of Graduation graduation ceremony of Floral Institute, just Institute of Management, given by our state, proud unit of JKSHIM Trust. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to those students, despite the fact that they were in different organizations, they could make it today. That shows your love and affection to your alma mater, and you are here today for you and for us. This entire session will go as per the agenda. So kindly comply to it as it has been informed to by Professor Karthik and Professor JKSHIM. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly be seated. May I now cordially invite highly respected Dr. Niranjan N. Chiplokar, the President of the ceremony, to declare the graduation ceremony open.
I declare the graduation ceremony open.
Pronounced to you. The voice of silence is always supreme and divine. It is beyond all levels of consciousness and all methods of communication. In spiritual parlance, sound is of surface, silence is of core. The core is total absence of sound. In consciously aspiring for silence, there is a possibility of becoming silent. Prayer helps us to listen to our inner voice of silence. Silence can give us what the word can never give. I call upon our third semester students, Miss Anuradha and Miss Anushka, to lead us in the voice of divine silence. Please stand up. Well, deep down in his persona, we see a fine blend of Eastern and Western scholarship. He knows that the flower of the West, without the fragrance of the East, is a flower in vain. He believes in integral pedagogy, in teaching and learning, coupled with all-inclusiveness. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a defining scholar in the field of higher education governance. He is our very own Dr. K. Shankaran, the esteemed director of our institute. Sir, we request you to proceed with your welcome address and also to present our institute's annual report to this august gathering. Dr. K. Shankaran.
A very hearty welcome to everybody and hearty good morning. I'd like to first warmly invite our chief guest, Sri M. Venkatesh, who is the Managing Director of Mangalore Refineries Private Limited, to just discuss the Institute of Management. Thank you for being here, sir. Mr. Venkatesh is a brilliant engineer, cum management expert, who has rendered significant service to India's petroleum sector. He graduated from Manipal Institute of Technology and started his career as a trainee at Indian Oil Corporation in 1988. His initial experience involved technical services and served at IOC's Mathura Refinery and Guwahati Refinery. In 1994, he joined MRPL and played a key role in the commissioning of all the phases in its tremendous growth in 4 phases. A manager of the highest caliber, his strategic thinking, ability to innovate and technical prowess earned him the highest leadership honor at MRPL. And MRPL is the largest manufacturing organization in the state of Karnataka. So you can imagine what kind of person you are getting your degrees from. He's been keenly involved not only in efficient engineering service to the nation's energy requirement, but also sensitivity to ecological and socially sustainable growth and safety for personnel and properties. We are most fortunate to have him in our midst, and my deepest gratitude to him to have agreed to be our chief guest. Thank you, sir. I'd like to heartily welcome Dr. Niranjan Chitlunkar, who has agreed to be the president for this function. We all know him. Let me re-introduce him to you all. Dr. Chitlunkar obtained his BE in Electronics and Communication from National Institute of Engineering, Mysore, in the year 1986, and MTech in Computer Science and Engineering from MIT, Manipal. He completed his PhD in Computer Science and Engineering from SJ College of Engineering of Mysore University in 2002. Professor Chitlunkar is currently Principal, Nitya Mahalinga Adhyantaya Memorial Institute of Technology, Nitya, and has more than 3 decades of teaching and research experience. He served as a lecturer and then reader in Computer Science and Engineering at Manipal Institute of Technology, Manipal. Dr. Chitlunkar is the recipient of prestigious awards and a large number of accolades. He has authored several textbooks and papers of wide repute. He is an expert on chip design and chip layout. He has edited 2 international and national level conference proceedings, recipient of Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan National Award for Best Engineering College Principal for the year 2014 by ISC New Delhi. He was awarded with Excellent Achievement Award by the Center for International Cooperation on Computerization, Government of Japan in March 2002. In 2007, he was honored with Distinguished Alumnus Award by the Manipal Institute of Technology, Manipal University. Thank you, sir, for being here. We are indeed honored to have a large number of students, of course, here, and I'm honored to have Dr. Sri Niketan over here. He's director at with our university, TV University. We have with us Dr. JKSHIM, who is Professor Emeritus Justice KSA Institute of Management. We have, of course, the Deputy Controller of Examinations, Dr. Venkatesh Kamath. I'm happy to introduce all the colleagues of mine at Justice KSA Institute of Management who are sitting on this side of the dais today. And all the student volunteers who have been responsible for carrying out this particular function. Dr. Sudhir Raj, who has led them, and 2 of his colleagues who have actually worked very hard to make this event successful. my welcome to all the people over here. Unfortunately, we don't have the parents and the students here because of COVID restrictions, and we were actually instructed to make it as small a crowd as possible. So we thought, the smallest that is possible is having all the students of this particular batch. So we are happy that we are able to hold this. We've been given this opportunity, a window. Hopefully, this COVID restrictions will not bring us back to what is happening before. Today is a very special and sacred day for every one of us. On behalf of all of us here, let me first acknowledge with great gratitude the vision and foresight of our great founder, late Justice Kavadur Sadananda Hegde, whose picture adorns this room, in whose memory our institute is named. A great visionary born over 110 years ago, to whom we forever are in gratitude. From a humble beginning of a primary school here in this village, the NITE group has grown to over 30 institutions offering from primary school education to advanced degrees in medicine and allied fields, engineering, biological sciences, management and others. Justice K.S.H. is legendary for his values and views on public probity, professional commitment, social sensitivity and faith in the deep Indian ethos. He stands today a shining beacon that gives guidance to every one of us here. He ably represented India at the UN General Assembly during his illustrious journey of contribution to the nation. He was the Chief Justice of the Delhi and Himachal Pradesh High Court, Justice of the Supreme Court, and Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Our deepest respects, gratitudes, and further guidance from him. Our institute came into existence in 1998 with just 40 students, and we have come a long way. Today we have 360 students. My gratitude is also to Sri Vinay Hegde, who is the Chancellor of NITE deemed to be University and President of NITE Education Trust. He is not here today and he's not keeping well, and that's why he's not here. We are indeed very, very thankful to him. All of us have great gratitude for his contribution to the growth of each one of us. I'm happy to inform you that JKSHIM's MBA program is accredited by the Accreditation Council for Business Schools and Programs, ACBSP, headquartered in the USA, member of the prestigious international body Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business, AACSB, and accredited by the National Board of Accreditation, New Delhi. We offer dual specialization in corporate finance, banking, marketing, human resources, and we have introduced operations and entrepreneurship in addition to IT. Our teaching learning process have various pedagogical innovations, including the well-known capstone simulation, Harvard University's leadership simulation, access to Bloomberg and the associated experiential learning and inductive learning, management in action, industrial projects and internships, and technology support of Turnitin, Grammarly and other IT support infrastructure. We are now registered for the Bloomberg Market Concepts, a certification program by Bloomberg, and several hundred students have completed this certification program. A large number of courses are being taught using the financial labs such as portfolio management, international financial management, financial derivatives, mergers and acquisitions, financial services, marketing management, strategic management, financial analysis and reporting, and corporate finance. We are Student Management Investment Fund. We have ironed out several regulatory impediments to finally have it registered legally. Ours may be one of the very few MBA granting institutions of the country which is registered with approval from SEBI. There are some more legal things to be approved, but we are actually playing the game in the virtual mode right now. But we have started the process in earnest right now. More than 100 students are enrolled under the Bloomberg Go Quant Camp, a skill development program that is organized in collaboration with International Financial Services Centers Authority. Our students are participating in the Global Trading Challenge, an event where students from universities across the world are participating. We are supported by Procus One Business, VTU Consortium, Elsevier Science, Springer Nature, Taylor and Francis, Kimball's and Emerald. These are, as you know, databases that are available for accessing research and practitioner journals. Our student team of Tejaswi Bhatt, Winston D'Souza and Chetan Naik, in these names at least one of them would be from your batch, won the runner-up in Bloomberg Olympiad at Symbiosis Pune. Tejaswi Bhatt and Pooja Upadhyaya, runners-up at financial event in Shrestha 2020, national level management fest organized by SDM College, SDM Group in Mangalore. At the same event, a team consisting of Pooja, Chauta and Lathish, were winner in one of the other events. Manisha and Pooja Upadhyaya were awarded first prize of Pirates of Black Pearl. Sounds very interesting. Held at Symbiosis Institute of Management, Hyderabad. Our students have been regular speakers at various media conferences organized by Global TV and Lal Goel Associates, and we have received excellent report of your participation and your approach to dealing with subjects that are not generally traditionally considered even management. Mr. Guru Prasad Naik from this batch has won championship trophy in VTU Intercollegiate Mangalore Zone Basketball Men's Tournament organized by NMAM Institute of Technology in September 2019. This was held in Nitte. Ms. Suma has participated in the All India University Cross Country Women's Championship held at Andhra University, Visakhapatnam 2019. The first year. She won the gold medal in half marathon with new meet record and gold medal in 5,000 meters and 10,000 meters in the VTU athletics competition organized at GNDEC Bidar in October 2019. She also represented VTU athletics women's team and participated in All India University Athletic Championship organized by RGUHS Bengaluru at Alvas Education Foundation, Mudubidri in January 2020. She also won the championship trophy in VTU Intercollegiate Single Zone Cross Country Competition organized by TTIF KGF Kolar in 2020. Mr. Guru Prasad Naik, participant in Nitte Kridotsava 2020, Intercollegiate Basketball Competition held at Nitte, Darlakate, and Mangaluru. This was in 2020. Let me take this opportunity to thank staff and myself, the partnership in education that you students have afforded us. Your inquisitive minds, youthful optimism and positive and critical disposition has been a source of inspiration and growth for all of us at Justice KSHIM Institute of Management. I want to in advance congratulate those who are winning medals here today. It's very difficult to declare the best in different categories because many of you are the best. I can assure you that many of you may not be winning medals, but you were just a whisker away from winning some of the prizes that are going to be given to some selected students. I will urge you to continue to do well and put in your best, compete with yourself, and no matter what adversities you have, whether COVID or not, you will do well. I'm really heartened to state that you all have come out with a lot of accolades in this times of distress and sudden changes and sudden announcements and complete U-turn in what we wanted to do and what you would have liked to do. But I think you have made a virtue of this, and indeed, I'm going to say later that this has been like one of the best times for placement. That's one of the yardsticks. I'm not saying it's the only yardstick. In 2019-20 batch, 159 students participated in the placement process. At the time of leaving, we had about 118 offers from about 23 companies, achieving a high level of placement. I think by now, almost everybody would be on a job if you have to have a job. Diversity of portfolios of recruiters was even higher, spanning private banks, financial institutions, education. Education was a big, the tech was a big entry in the last couple of years, and you've been benefited by that. FMCG, HR, IT companies. This year we could make use of centralized recruitment in the virtual mode by many companies. Thanks to these companies, they did not have to come here, and as you know, like TCS, many companies are now looking for centralized recruitment, and there are others also, and we are really working on these things today. One of the highlights of this year's placement has been the participation of startups, and more than 20% of the recruiters this year were startups. We have excellent feedback from these companies about the performance of our students in the marketing realm. I mean, most of all the startups were looking for graduates like you for their marketing activities, mostly IT and technology products. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to say that our alumni have carved out a niche for themselves in their respective places of work, within and outside the country. Even within a relatively short period since we started the institution, the first batch of students graduated from JKSHIM. These young managers have gone on to become CEOs, vice presidents, managing partners, area heads and functional heads in various organizations. We are proud to state that many of our alumni have gone on to become successful entrepreneurs. Quite a few of you, after a few years, gravitate towards entrepreneurship, and really happy to note that we hope to have that more so in future. JKSHIM provides a strong support through creation of enabling ecosystem for research work. For the year 2021, our faculty members have been able to publish several research articles in highly ranked journals: Global Business Review, South Asian Journal of Business Studies, Event Management, Journal of Hospitality, Leisure, Sports and Tourism Education, Prabandhan Indian Journal, Educational Review of Taylor and Francis. These were some of the places where our research has appeared. To further research at our institute, we have procured license for use of SAS JMP software and NVivo for qualitative and quantitative analysis. An MOU was signed between JKSHIM and I Nurture Education Solutions, Bengaluru. This MOU is intended to impart an online program for working professionals, post-graduation certification program in FinTech and digital finance. There's been some delay because of COVID, and we're going to take this up, so you will see some very active work going on in this area of online education. Mr. Ullas Kamath, Joint Director of Mumbai-based Jyoti Labs, has provided support to launch Ullas Kamath Center for Family Managed Business at JKSHIM, premised in early 2021. The civil works for this are ready. We'll be having the first program here in November 2021. We hope to contribute to the MSME and family businesses in a significant way through this initiative. We thank him for his initiative. Kobayashi Create, a Japanese company, has supported JKSHIM to set up in October 2020, the Nite Kobayashi Center. 3 phases of consulting projects have been completed here. Based on this work, the Japanese firm is considering entering the Indian markets. I thank all my colleagues for all these initiatives and wonderful participation in the various activities. We also have signed an MOU with Canara Chamber of Commerce and Industries, Mangaluru, as part of the industry academic collaboration. Already some projects are being done by students, and we hope to expand this, especially in our management of action projects and possibly other projects. Dr. K. Shankaran was appointed as expert consultant by Pune-based MIT ADT University's School of Vedic Studies to bring Indic ideals in management education. A very ambitious program. Several universities in India have signed up with that university to introduce and start courses in their MBA curriculum on indigenous cultural sensitivity and local wisdom. This is an 18-month long project. We are working in close association. One day intensive training program on a contemporary theme, New Age Teacher Empowerment, organized by the Institute and NMAM Institute of Technology, NITE, that was sponsored by the Atal Incubation Center, NITE, in October 20. That was held in Atal Incubation Center, with the help of Atal Incubation Center, whose CEO is here with us, Dr. Acha. Thank you for that. One day Indian, Dr. Radhakrishnan Sharma, faculty at JKSHIM, has been doing several programs on promoting financial literacy, wealth creation, personal financial management, and portfolio investment in the region. During the period, several EDPs and FDPs were conducted by Dr. Sudhir Raj and others on topics such as neuro leadership, neuro marketing, mindfulness, and related topics. I'm proud to say that he has been awarded Karnataka State Udupi District Rajotsava Award by Udupi District Administration in 2020 for his contribution to academics. JKSHIM faculty have been involved in developing and delivering courses for engineering students from NMMIT and as adjunct faculty members at the Nitte School of Architecture, Nitte deemed to be university. We organized Nitte Management Conference last year on the topic Thriving in Times of Unprecedented Disruptions, Embracing Gig Economy Entrepreneurially. The conclave gathered eminent business leaders, management thinkers, researchers, economists and entrepreneurs to engage in contemplative deliberations, brainstorming and thought-provoking discussions. Nitte Education Trust, captained by Sri Vinay Hegde, has been a source of unremitting inspiration and support to us. I wish to also thank all those at NET, Nitte Education Trust, under his leadership of Mr. Vishal Hegde and Mr. Rajendra, and others who have given us their complete backing. I wish to thank everybody over here, all the guests once again, and also the administration headed by Sri Professor Yogesh Hegde and his team, who has made all the arrangements over here possible today with infrastructure support. Your batch has been the beneficiary of a huge scholarship program rolled out by Nitte Education Trust. I do hope that you go out there and become ambassadors of Nitte Group, not just for quality teaching learning atmosphere, but also for humane treatment of other human beings and other life forms and philanthropy. These last 2 years have been difficult, and many of the assumptions and worldviews that were held have been completely demolished and challenged, and we have actually hopefully come out of that with a stronger sense of how we can do online learning, how we can utilize manpower and tremendous amount of talent that may not be regularly available on site. Dear students, may this glorious day of success and fulfillment be etched in golden letters in your memory. All of us will be eagerly waiting for you to see you climb the ladder of success and fulfillment. I call upon you to bring glory to your alma mater, your family, your country, and of course bring fruition to your own dreams. May God bless you all. I wish you on behalf of everyone at our institute and the Nitte Group a great future ahead. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Namaste to you, sir. Flowers are happiness and affection. Every flower is a soul blossoming in nature. Flowers are like best friends. They bring color to our world. May I invite our esteemed director, Dr. K. Shankaran, to florally welcome our distinguished chief guest, Sri M. Venkatesh. Director, florally welcome our distinguished chief guest, Sri M. Venkatesh. Sir, I request you to florally welcome our esteemed president of today's program, Dr. Niranjan Chiplonka. Thank you, sir. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the most important agenda of the 22nd batch of the Master of Business Administration program graduation ceremony, that is the award of certificates to the MBAs of 2019-21 batch. To do this honor, I cordially invite our distinguished chief guest, Sri M. Venkatesh, the Managing Director of MRPL, and I request our esteemed Director, Dr. K. Shankaran, to accompany our distinguished chief guest. May I now request our learned colleague, Dr. Radha Krishna Sharma, Professor of our Institute, to present the students for handing over of the certificates. Dr. Radha Krishna Sharma.
Respected dignitaries on today's, I am very happy to present the names of the students who are going to receive the certificates from our chief guest today. I will start with Mr. Abhijit J. Abhilash I.S. Abhishek. Aditya Ronald Dicosta. Ahmed Afrid. Akash Yam. Akash S.K. Akshay E. Akshaya. Akshaya Dilip Bhai. Akshita. Alfred Marshall D'Souza. Anil P.L. Anusha Bavaskar. Peksha. Aksa. Ashley D'Souza. Ashley D'Souza. Agustin Avinash Lobo. Mr. Balveer Singh. Cleona Niti D'Souza. Dishita. Mr. Deepak Aital. Danya D. Samani. Danyashree. Elvita Teresa D'Souza. Gokulnath S. Miss Gauri Keshav Valse. Gravin Castelli. Gravin Castelli. Mr. Guru Prasad Nayak K. Mr. Harinarayan K.S. Mr. Harsha M. Shetty. Mr. Harshit Kumar G. Miss Harshita. Prima Bindu R. Miss Jasmita Neha Bindu. Miss Jayavati. Ginevia Preeti Menezes. Ms. Joshal Prima de Souza. Joshika S. Raj. Mr. Joyan Jose. Ms. Jyoti J. Mr. K. L. Nitin. Mr. Kaushik S. Shetty. Ms. Kavyasri. Mr. Kaushik. Ms. Kripa. Mr. Kritan Bibi. Ms. Kritika Shetty. Mr. Latish M. Mr. Akshay Aital. Mr. M. Ashwin Kumar. Mr. Muhammad Amir Khan. Miss Manasati. Mr. Mulkanda V. Miss Manisha. Ms. Manisha Mahesh Bhai. Ms. Mayuri Vijay. Mr. Muhammad Danish. Mr. Muhammad Saeed. Ms. Namana B. Shetty. Mr. Narasimha Nayak, sorry, Kamal. Mr. Navina. Mr. Neil Glavin. Miss Nidhi Shetty. Mr. Nihal UK. Miss Nikita. Miss Nikita M. Mr. Mani Pratyat VR. Miss Pavitra S. Acharya. Miss Pooja A. Chawda. Pooja Hegde. Miss Pujita Acharya A. Mr. Prajwal. Mr. Prajwal P. Nayak. Mr. Prakyat Kumar. Prashant P. Mr. Pratik. Ms. Pratik Shakti. Pratik Patkar. Ms. Pratiksha. Miss Princia Sharon. Miss Priyanka. Mr. Rajat Young Bogi. Miss Rakshita. Rakshita J. Mr. Ramchandra R. Purwa. Rashmita. Mr. Ratan Kumar UR. Ms. Reshma Dinesh Shirur. Miss Ria Angel Sons. Miss Ria Lasrado. Mr. Rohit Johnson Castellino. Miss Rupashri. Mr. Sagar V. Shetty. Miss Susmita Dele Machado. Mr. Sanvit S. Kotian. Miss Shabari, Mr. Shailesh Mark Pinto, Mr. Sharon Shetty, Sharanya B, Mr. Shashank M.S., Mr. Shavi Shashidhar, Mr. Shetty Abhilas Suresh, Miss Shravya BVS, Miss Shreya, Miss Srinidhi Uday Rai, Mr. Sridhar V. Devankar, Miss Sri Lakshmi, Miss Shruti Diya, Miss Shweta Venkatramana Bhatt, Mr. Siddhartha M. Pujari, Miss Simran R. Shetty, Mr. Skanda Kumar KV, Miss Sneha M, Miss Kauparnika S. Acharya, Miss Sri Raksha, Mr. Srinivas Rao KS, Selvi Santamaya. Mr. Subramanya T. Shonai. Miss Sushma S. Shetty. Miss Sushmita. Sushmita Sri Shetty. Mr. Swaroop Hegde. Miss Swati N.P. Miss Tina. Mr. Tejas U.S. Mr. Tejasvi Kumar Mohandas Bhatt. Miss Tejasvi P. Miss Rishali Shetty. Miss Vaishali Vasant Padmashali. Miss Vanishri K.M. Mr. Varun M. Bulgera. Mr. Vignesh Pai K. Mr. Vineet Shetty K. Miss Vishruta Rai. And Mr. Yogisha S.N. That's all from my side. Thank you, sir, for giving away the graduation certificates.
Thank you so much for your patience and kind gesture. Ladies and gentlemen, we are really proud that 30% of the Fortune 500 prestigious companies have Indians at their top, be it Satya Nadella, Sundar Pichai, Yvonne Managers, Indra Nooyi, Raj Subramaniam, Thomas Kurian, Anshu Jain and Santanu Narayan, and also Lakshman Narasimhan. The list will be on and on and on. All of them made a big difference to the respective companies with their sheer positive attitude, hard work, patience, discipline, dedication and intelligence. We are proud of their stellar performance. There is so much to learn from them. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so proud to showcase our own MBAs who made a big difference to their life with their outstanding performance in academia and other related activities. Well, we are going to unveil the roll of honor and we are indeed delighted to facilitate all of them in this coveted, colorful graduation ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be felicitating the achievers of excellence of two batches, namely 2018-20 and 2019-21. Well, to do this honor, I cordially invite the presiding officer of today's ceremony, our own Dr. Niranjan Chiplonkar, and I request our director to accompany our principal to do the honor. Ladies and gentlemen, we are extremely delighted to announce the name of Miss K. Pooja Upadhyay, who has secured the first place in the MBA degree examinations of 1825 with 8.72 CGPA and has been declared as the academic topper. Currently, she is working as a US tax analyst at Grant Thornton. Interestingly, she also bagged first rank and gold medal in the BBM degree examinations conducted by Mangalore University. She is receiving a citation and also a gold medal from our president, Dr. Niranjan L. Chiplonkar, along with our esteemed director. Congrats on your stellar performance, Pooja. Another academic topper for the year 1921 that has been backed by Miss Tejasvi B. She has secured the first place in the MBA degree examinations of 1921 and just passed out batch of our institute. She has a CGPA of 8.68 and has been officially declared to receive the gold medal from our president. Ladies and gentlemen, Tejasvi also bagged second rank in the BCom degree examinations conducted by Mangalore University. Now she is working for a research MNC. Thank you so much, sir. Shankaran sir, you are again requested to accompany our distinguished chief guest, and you will be awarding the best outgoing students for 2 consecutive years. May I have the pleasure in inviting Sri M. Venkatesh, the MD of MRPL, to felicitate our stellar performance. Ladies and gentlemen, I have again a lot of delight to invite K. Pooja Upadhyay onto the stage to receive the Best Outgoing Student Award for the year 2018-20. She has been adjudged as the best outgoing student of that particular year of our institute. Presenting to you a Pooja Upadhyay. She will be receiving gold medal, citation from our distinguished chief guest. Pooja, double congratulations on your performance. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be felicitating now Best Outgoing Student of 2019-21 batch of the MBA program of our institute. We are so delighted to announce the name of Miss Gauri Kesho Balsi. She had her engineering degree from the Anjuman Institute of Technology, Vatkal, and she has been adjudged as the best outgoing student of our institute with a gold medal and a citation. Congratulations, Gauri Keshav. Congratulations on your performance. Thank you, sir. Shakaran sir, again you are requested to accompany Dr. N.S. Shetty, the leading agricultural economist of our nation, and he is our mentor and also the member of the governing council of our institute. Ladies and gentlemen, he will be felicitating the best project report winners. Now we cordially invite 2018-20 batch student Miss Disha Chandrasekhar onto the stage. She has been ably guided by Dr. A.P. Achar, the CEO of NITE Atal Incubation Center. My dear friends, she is Miss Disha Chandrasekhar. She will get 5,000 rupees cash prize instituted by the Alumni Association of our institute and also a citation. It's a very nice event that Alumni is joining hands with us, which is very vibrant, to felicitate the performance with a difference. Now I am inviting Miss Shravya B.S., just passed out batch of 2019-2021. She has been ably guided by Dr. Steve Young, the professor of our institute. Under the able guidance of Dr. Steve Young, Shravya is going to receive ₹5,000 cash, not check, cash, with a citation. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Dear students, this is the beginning of your exciting journey. We are so blessed to have you as our proud students. You are the role model of aspiring India and a beacon of hope. Let the culture of love for learning, unlearning and relearning continue with you. Be always positive with the positive vibes. I'm sure that all our distinguished guests and esteemed faculty members and staff and all those who are present here will join hands with me in wishing you all a bright career and a prosperous and peaceful life. May God bless you all abundantly. Sarve Janaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Ladies and gentlemen, I cordially invite our esteemed director, Dr. K. Shankaran, to administer the oath. Sir, you are cordially invited.
All graduating students, please stand up. Please put forward your hand as I do. Repeat after me. I pledge today that I will do everything in my capacity to uphold the dignity of my alma mater, Justice K.S. Hegde Institute of Management, NMA MIT, NITE. I promise to strive for the betterment of humanity by practicing the management profession as a responsible citizen with social and ecological concern, efficiency and integrity. Bless me, Almighty, with strength and courage of conviction to fulfill my pledge. Thank you very much. Please sit down. All the best to you all. God bless you.
Pranams to you, sir, and congratulations to all the students. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he is an engineer, a proven administrator, and he has made a phenomenal transformation in the style of functioning of the Mangalore Refineries and Petrochemicals Limited, the mini Ratnas of our nation. It's a wonderful case study for all our MBAs. He's humble, simple, and very affectionate. Above all, he has a great respect to our Nitty group of institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, he is Sarvashri M. Venkatesh, MD of MRPL. Sir, we are cordially inviting you to deliver the 22nd Graduation Day address. Shri M. Venkatesh.
Sarvaguru Namaskara. It's almost good afternoon, so let's start with a good morning. Good morning, everybody. In absentia, respected Vinay Agneji, respected Shankaran, respected Niranjan sir, respected Shetty sir, and all the senior professors, HODs, the entire staff sitting at the back, Sriniketan sir, Rudolph, my colleague in MRPL, and all the 5.5 feet to 6.2 feet graduates, MBA graduates who have received the degrees today. To start with, congrats to one and all. This speech was prepared by me, but I am going to read out. It's always better to have something in hand, but believe me, I have prepared it. The event we have gathered for here today takes me back to my college. I passed out from MIT Manipal and the function wherein which we received our degree certificate. To be honest, I was a backbencher and not much was expected of me either by my stakeholders. More so from my parents, who had absolute faith in my abilities not to secure a place in front bench. I was also ran personality until a twist of fate landed me onto the board of this central public sector organization called MRPL. It's a Miniratna under the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. Well, I am a chemical engineer by profession, no further degrees beyond the one which I struggled hard to obtain for 4 years. I have field experience for the past 27-30 years. Not sure whether I am the right person to talk in front of MBAs, management principles and their application in front of this very august gathering, highly knowledgeable professors and a great institution, and of course the students. Well, having said that, I can claim hands-on experience in dealing with multiple stakeholders, effective or otherwise, including handling unskilled, semi-skilled, skilled, super skilled, contract workforce, qualified engineers, chartered accountants, MBAs, PhDs, government officials, government agencies, government authorities, worker union, contractors union, local stakeholders, activists, and you knew some more few. I have seen a complete transition from a private sector work culture to a government work culture. We were a private organization when we started way back in 1993. We became a central government organization in 2003. It is a classic case of a government organization taking over a private organization and turning around the organization. Probably one in a few in the country, maybe nil. ONGC picked us up in 2003, and 2004 we started making profits. So all is not bad about a government sector, I should honestly say so. I've been working in MRPL since '94. Before that, I worked 5.5 years in Indian Oil Giant PSU in Mathura and Guwahati. Well, why am I saying all this? Is it to showcase my experience, and does it have some bearing on today's occasion? Well, I am speaking out of my experience dealing with live situations, mainly as an applicable team member and now a leader of the organization. So it must be applicable to all of you. Some may be teams, some may be leaders, some may be both. But you should have to be one of these. Jobs can be categorized as this side or that side, the other side, either employed or an employer. Obviously, it is expected that you will not sit idle and vacation in some Pacific island doing nothing other than soaking the sun days and months together. Even there, being an MBA, you are expected to generate a novel idea and demonstrate your entrepreneurial abilities. You are supposed to generate wealth from seemingly nothing, be it from thin air. And that's, I presume, is MBA. You are supposed to increase the net worth of a company. God only knows how you will do on all companies year on year, and resource will be nothing. There will be no resource for you to work with. Having said that, I would like to share some of my learning from a manufacturing sector, briefly and point-wise. Well, here we go. Some of them might not fit into the regular course material. Some of them could be, hey, what is this guy standing here and talking about? But believe me, these are all principles and practices which I have used or my teammate would have used for coming out of a situation. Cardinal principle of being polite and respectful boss all the time fails at times. Defense is not sure-shot measure for overcoming a particular difficult situation. At times, offensive action is a must. Losing a limb or two is not rare, even in defensive position. Paperweight has to fly. Noise has to emerge from the boss's room, and windows have to shatter. But what counts is the time duration of this violent behavior. Instant cooling of a milk after boiling is a scientific procedure for pasteurizing. Scientific process perfectly works in managing seemingly unmanageable situation. The next one. Boss is always not right. You have to articulate this sometime or the other. The history theory goes, boss is always right. Not true. So you stand up to say, oh, well, you are not right. Trust your luck and your capabilities to avoid flying saucers. When you try to do some heat is generated, do not yield, but definitely bend. A tree which can bend can survive the worst of the cyclones. Try, I repeat, try and maneuver the situation to change from you are always wrong to boss is not always right. Some maneuvering skills are learnt as an instant lesson. There is nothing prescribed in the books, I am 100% sure. So you will have to learn as you face the situation. No prescribed medicines available. The nearest I can get to is a daily dose of some bending exercises which hardly we can do. Some of them we see in the TV. I don't know, God's sake, how they bend, but they do. So maybe we can practice some to take care of the flying saucers when you are confronting your boss and trying to tell him or her that you are always not right. Number 3, believe your leader until you find yourself in a deep ditch along with the leader and the teammates. This happens. Apparently, some of the leaders are quite adept in walking backward, exhibiting high skill levels, facing the marching team behind. Well, definite ditch. Surely you will end up in a ditch. confident leader is quite desirable. Overconfident leader is in any situation is a disaster. In case you are faced with the above situation, some solutions. In case you are faced with the above situation, which you will eventually will in the course of your career, the only possible way is to walk last in the march, so that there is no more than a loyal team member left behind to push you into the ditch. You can stop short of the deep ditch. You are the last. You can stop there. Of course, you will be finding everybody in the ditch. Please give a helping hand to rescue your team. Don't desert your team from the ditch in case the ditch is not too deep. Do not forget the leader who put you all in the ditch. Never ever desert the team and the leader, even if he makes you fall into the ditch. Well, you have avoided the ditch by carefully walking at the last of the marching contingent. Number 4, very critical. Always your batchmates or even juniors' pay packet is fatter than yours. Do not peep into your teammate's salary. Whomsoever you compare with, being eligible for comparison, their pay packets always turns out to be fatter. You will never want to realize that you have gracefully missed out air pockets in the packets. The best way forward is to display your pay packet. Believe me, nobody will believe that. Conclusion is that you have deliberately left out some zeros at the end of the figure. The conclusions are more or less based on recent holiday trip you would have taken along with your near and dear ones. Number 5, be a team member unless you have established with an iota of doubt that you have all the 1,000 odd skills to be a leader you are supposed to possess. Leader always leads from front, and mind you, top is lonely. Back seat driving is completely avoided. Vision gets obstructed by driving the back seat. You as a leader are expected to have all the knowledge. Having possessed the 1,000, you will realize that another 1,000 needs to be picked up. The count goes on and on. The best defined as the limit function tending to infinity. But the fact is that some has to lead and many have to form the marching contingent, and some need to be the last row. Going on, the 6th one. MBAs tend to get into consulting company. Not all, but many. If you are in a consulting company, write the contracts with as many apostrophes, dollars, question mark, at the rate as possible, with font sizes not for notes much below decent standards. As successfully written contract can be defined as maximum words in a page, font size being less than 8. On punching 2 holes on the left hand side of the page, few letters get knocked off. Referring to page 8 and then back to page 5, while again sending the reader to the last page with legally worded references. But if you are on the other side, if you are trying to read the contract, situation is grim. Even grimmer when you realize that your childhood friend has drafted the contract. And hence you end up not knowing which side you are, whether to read the contract or whether to blindly believe your friend, and that too childhood friend. Raise your value standards, take a deep breath, close your eyes, meditate and do whatever you can. But read through the clauses carefully until the midnight oil really burns up and still the nights are long. Easier said than done, but never mix integrity and the emotions emerging out of a relationship. Establish undoubted integrity. Very important. Number 7. A leader is supposed to have long-term vision, provided he or she has quality time left after carefully taking all decisions. Invariably, as the world perceives, all decisions are made by the leader, while the team members are free not to take decisions and adequately qualified to make a few suggestions left behind on your table, and the last minute notes at the end of a week-long approaching weekend, bite the bullet, trust the team. You have to delegate and delegate and delegate. Pass on the success to the team and accept failure of the team publicly. Hold the team accountable on a one-on-one discussion across the table. Don't let the team go if there are failures, but don't banish them publicly. Learn to accept failures and pass on the success to the team. Indiscipline, number 8. Indiscipline, that too on multiple occasions, need immediate attention. In the current world of digital information, all rules and regulations and between the line interpretations are available on smartphones with maximum hours clocked in to arrive at wanted desirable conclusions. Finally, the conclusions will always be that company interpretations of rules invariably turn out to be not correct, while a particular person's interpretation is beyond doubt. Also, several examples of the past will be quoted. Probity and discipline is beyond phase and non-negotiable. Declare this as policy. This is for entrepreneurs and of course the boss and the teammates, everybody. Declare policy and demonstrate the policy. Israel as a national policy does not negotiate certain acts. Self to be beyond doubt and adhering on various rules and regulations of the company. Demonstrate that rule of law is applicable to everybody irrespective of importance and designation and hierarchy. The boss has to convince himself or herself that nobody is indispensable, including the boss himself or herself. Number 9. Innovate and look for quality. Originate ideas. Don't bother about time. We saw COVID. Nothing happened other than some few distractions. Of course, a lot of pain, but we have bounced back. So we have passed 2 years and we have certainly bounced back. The long-term effect of inefficiency and inaccuracy is a damaged setup of a system or an equipment which will always underperform because the equipment or the system is designed badly. Do not tolerate below par quality of products. Never compromise on efficiency and accuracy. Surely in the current enlightened period that we are living, the classical measure of productivity is not ultimate measure of a person's or company's performance. Until E equal to MC squared was developed and carefully understood, there was no E equal to MC squared. New ratios, modified ratios, etc. needs to be developed, and empirical based methods are to be constructed for true measurement of a performance of a company or an individual, and this entirely depends on the circumstances you are working with. You cannot continue to use the same formula and demonstrate that productivity is there while apparently the company is going down the drain. There must be some other method to evaluate your performance, your team's performance, or your company's performance. You will have to develop that. You need to know what is productivity, but at the end of the day, the formula need not be applied across the table. Number 10, be humble. Young one always know better than oldies. Well, if they don't, it is not worth hiring them. Always bow to those hairs which have turned white with full of golden experience, gathered after long days' work on the ground, day after day, year after year. Challenge the experience with caution and knowledge, not with ego and an air of know-all attitude. Heaven's sake, be humble. Humility touches deep down the other soul and generates the warmth which carries the team forward with full of energy and oneness and trust and many, many more things words fail to express. Number 11. A vision without value is not sustainable. One of the most critical aspects of your personality is values. You have to have a well-articulated vision to increase your wealth from current net worth by some multiples in a defined period of time. Mind you, wealth need not always be hard cash or visible assets. What matters at the end is the journey you have taken, the path you have followed to attain the success. Values of truth, honesty, integrity, compassion, empathy, a sense of duty towards the society we live in, an element of sharing, hand holding to those who need, shedding all-encompassing ego, high thinking and simple living, spirituality, etc. brings in unaccountable benefits to your growth story. Never, I repeat, never give up on your values for a short-term gain, for which results in a long-term damage. Listen to the dot and completely listen. Do not jump to conclusions. For all you know, the arguer was not expecting any reply at all. This is my personal experience. This is an anticlimax. In fact, the guy keeps on arguing. He or she would not have expected anything back. No, just listen. He or she must have been venting his or her anxieties, gracefully obtained on account of some frivolous family matters. Silence kills. A movie thriller invariably starts with silence and a mild background music. You can have the last laugh without saying a word during negotiation with trade unions. All you need to do is exhibit infinite patience and occasional nod. Take a deep breath. Of course, both the sides need to take the breath. You simply express your total inability to accept the demand. Silence coupled with body gestures are a lethal combination. Testimony is Charlie Chaplin. History can repeat to your advantage. Well, I can go on and on, covering all the 30 years of my experience. I should also know when to stop. And I have realized, I have just thought I should stop here now. Have a great career. Never forget your beloved teachers and professors and deans and all the staff and each and every individual who came across you and all the simple moments you enjoyed during your stay and learning in this great institution. Last but not the least, always salute the founders of this temple of learning called NITTE. In small Kannada, ಹುಲ್ಲಾಗಿ ಬೆಟ್ಟದಡಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಮಲ್ಲಿಗೆಯಾಗು ಕಲ್ಲಾಗು ಕಷ್ಟಗಳ ಮಳೆಯ ವಿಧಿ ಸುರಿಯ ಬೆಲ್ಲ ಸಕ್ಕರೆಯಾಗು ದೀನ ದುರ್ಬಲರಿಗೆಂಬ ಎಲ್ಲರೊಳಗೊಂದಾಗು ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮ ಅಸತೋಮ ಸತ್ಯಮಯ ತಮಸೋಮ ಜ್ಯೋತಿರ್ಗಮಯ ಮೃತ್ಯೋರ್ಮ ಮೃತಂ ಗಮಯ. Thanks one and all for listening to me till the last dot. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.
Pranams to you, sir. We are indeed enlightened and blessed with your distilled words of wisdom. As educators, we know with all modesty that education is not the beginning of the end, but the end of the beginning. Ladies and gentlemen, the presiding officer of the 22nd graduation ceremony is the most respected Dr. Niranjan N. Chiplonkar, the esteemed principal of NMAMIT NITTE. He is our friend, philosopher and Margadarshak. Sir, we are eagerly awaiting to listen to you. Dr. Chiplonkar.
Good afternoon, respected chief guest of this 22nd graduation day ceremony of Justice JKSHIM Institute of Management, Shri M. Venkatesh. Director of JKSHIM, Dr. Shankaran. Deputy Controller of Examination, who has recently taken charge of that post, Dr. Kamath. All the senior professors and the faculty members of JKSHIM and the dear graduates of this great institute. First of all, let me congratulate all of you for getting that graduation day certificate today in hand after your very hard work for last 2 years in this institute. Congratulations and wishing you all the best. I know last year also the graduation day could not be conducted even to this extent. But I'm really happy to note that Institute has invited even last year's gold medal winners and along with this year's batch to honor them. So congratulations to all the gold winners, gold medal winners, and also the best project winners and best outgoing student award winners. We all know that NIT Education Trust started in the year 1979. One of the main objective under the vision of the trust was partnering in community development. Every institute that has been started over last 40 years under the NIT Education Trust has this motto in its objectives too. Likewise, I know JKSHIM also has this particular goal of partnering with the community, and the report read by your director, Dr. Shankaran, really mentioned few of the aspects in which the students and the faculty and the institution as a whole partnered with the community in coming out with various good projects. I really congratulate the institute and also the faculty members and the students for that wonderful work. Professor Shankaran has given various details or the report of the institute for last 1 year and also various accolades that have been won by the institute. The students especially, he was mentioning that good number of students have done fantastically well in various intercollegiate competitions, sports especially. In fact, NMAMIT bagged first position in university in sports event successfully, of course, for the 4 years. And one of the main reasons for that to happen was a couple of students from JKSHIM, because they stood first, and because of that, NMAMIT could get the first place at the university level. Congratulations for that too. Professor was mentioning about I6TG, which is a HR company from Japan, who has a center of excellence being set up here. This is for the information of all of you that in the days to come, NIT University has great plans, and one among them has very recently through a MOU which was signed between NIT University and QTech University in Japan, and also an agreement which was signed, tripartite agreement which was signed between NIT University, QTech and I6TG, that is worth mentioning, where the students of NIT group of institutions and NIT University can go to QTech, which is a state university of Japan, for their internships and maybe possible placements, and the financial help for such visits and internships will be borne or will be extended by the companies in and around QTech, and that is coordinated by I6TG. See, these are the three partners, I6TG bringing several industries, the university over there providing training and internship opportunities for our students, and after the internship, the companies there may take these students for their placements. Before coming here, CM Venkatesh and also Dr. Rudolph are talking to us saying that even MRPL would like to start off or restart its placement drive with the local institutes. Very happy to note that Mr. Venkatesh has been at the forefront of several leading activities of this great mini Ratna of Government of India, and I believe in the days to come, this public sector enterprise which is there in the vicinity, definitely we will be benefited in more than one way, and his visit maybe in last 1 month, it is his second visit to the campus. That itself shows his love and affection towards NIT Education Trust and our company. Another future plan, I believe Sri Yan Vinay Hegde should have been here, but for some reason he could not make it. He also has asked me to convey his greetings and wishes to all of you. If you had here, definitely you would have talked many things about future plans of NIT deemed to be university. If everything goes well, maybe by next year this time we will be part of NIT deemed to be university. We plan to start a couple of masters programs, some more masters program in this off campus if that happens, and 2 masters programs which we are discussing very recently is very much connected to the management department of, faculty of management. One is the supply chain management, and very recently that is actually yesterday itself, we are talking to some of the HR company again from New Zealand, and they have come forward to have a 1+1 program on supply chain management with NIT deemed to be university. Hopefully by next year we must start it, because we are all awaiting that moment of we becoming part of NIT university. Once that happens, lots of our dreams and then plans definitely will be will be initiated. Another one, Professor Achar was talking about management program in entrepreneurship. So I believe that also may come up in the days to come. We all know that COVID has really challenged us in different ways, but actually it has given us lots of opportunities also to think differently. Actually the education, the way in which it is delivered, that itself has been redefined in entire way. All of you are the witnesses for that, because definitely when you joined this institute 1.5, 2 years back, that time itself this COVID stuck, and then maybe for last 2 years, some 3-4 months you were in the campus, or for rest of the time you are online. But still, I don't think you have missed much. Maybe you might have learned a lot, learned different things, or doing things differently in the new paradigm. And I'm sure that going forward, such challenges will come in your way, and Sri Venkatesh has given very excellently, has deliberated on 10 different tips, okay, which he has given you when you get into your professional career. Many of those things definitely you also will face. The national education policy, which all of us are talking about, that also has started implementation. At least our university has taken some initial steps in incorporating certain points which have been mentioned in this policy document of NEP. And skill-based training, value-based courses, project-based and experiential learning, these are all going to be part and parcel of our new education delivery process. So I believe the students who are going to join us this year or year after, later on, they definitely will see a sea change in the way in which the teaching learning process happens in the college. And all that has been deliberated, these policy measures have been deliberated, as you know, in different levels, and now we are at the implementation stage. The reason why I am mentioning here is that in implementation stage of such newer aspects, even the alumni of a college play an important role. from today, you are alumni of JKSHIM. And when you visit your institute in subsequent years, definitely college will expect a lot from you, not financially, but through the experience that you gain in your professional life. Even now it is happening, but definitely it has to happen at a remarkably different, higher level. So that peer-to-peer learning, we always know that it is most effective rather than teachers telling something to the students. That is, peer learning will be more effective. Always when immediate seniors come back to the college and then talk to their juniors, the students in the college will take that very seriously. Okay, that's what we have seen. And as alumni from today of this great institute, you will have lot of responsibilities in building this institution to next higher level, and I am sure that you will all be there with us in this particular great journey. I have completed about 34 years of my professional career. I joined in '87 as a faculty at MIT Manipal, and I clearly see in my professional journey 3 different stages. First 10 to 15 years, I was only teaching. Okay, it was undergraduate teaching, postgraduate teaching, guiding the students. Well, within the classroom, we used to engage the students, and that's it. Later, maybe for 5-6 years, after I took over as the vice principal at NMAM Institute of Technology in 2002, we were also told, and it was expected out of us, that research is an important component of teaching, line. And we were made to think on those lines, and about 10-11 students did their PhD under my guidance. But more than that, in fact, I learned a lot by working with my students when they did their PhD. And this learning is a continuous process, even for you when you join companies, maybe as employees at the first level, as you move forward, and even when you reach to the highest level, that learning should not stop, and it will not stop, and it should not. So that was my second part. And recently, in the last 10 years, I was more involved in administration. Many of things which Mr. Venkatesh just now mentioned, we all have, felt that I have experienced it. Sri Venkatesh mentioned that he was a mediocre student, he was a last bencher and all that. But please note, he is not a mediocre leader today. Okay? And anybody can become a great leader provided he has that particular goal ahead of it, and if he works towards achieving it. And Mr. Venkatesh is one of the standing examples in front of us. He also mentioned about various stakeholders with whom he has been interacting in the last several years. He said employees, government agencies, there are various other people, contractors, local leaders and all that. I was just carefully observing, he missed politicians. But I know definitely he has to interact with them also on different grounds. He might have intentionally left it, or he thought that it is not worth mentioning it. But as you grow up in the ladder in your professional career, there are various segments of people in the society with whom you need to interact. Many a times, whether certain things you like it or not, for some reason you may have to accept it, but finally, if you are there at the helm of affairs to take decisions, you must take a decision which is going to be helpful for the entire community around you, who is working with you. So, Mr. Venkatesh has been a standing example, as I mentioned, and I really thank from bottom of my heart and also on behalf of our president and the entire group of NIT Education Trust for being here and spending his very valuable time addressing all our graduating students. Last, I just would like to say a couple of things. One is which in fact, my seniors, before I took over as charge of principal, I was really in a dilemma whether to take that post or not. But my family and my well-wishers said that go ahead, you take it. And then as the time progresses, definitely you will also learn the tricks of the trade. So it happened, and then I firmly believe that, as Mr. Venkatesh also mentioned, listening is a very, very important aspect. When you are there on that chair, people who are come to you, they expect that you very calmly and patiently listen to them. Once if you listen to their, whatever grievances that they have, definitely they will say that before you start talking, sir, half of my problem is solved. So this is a very important thing which I have learned, and that has really made my things little simpler in my professional life. Be open for criticism, and this criticism can be positive, negative or whatever, but it is criticism. You must take it openly, and there will be lots of good things. If you sit back and then think over those points whichever people might have told, there will be very many good things in that. Try to at least implement and incorporate certain things which you feel are good for your institute. Take everyone along with you, because you single-handedly cannot do anything. So you have to take everybody along with you. And finally, when it is a time to take the decision, be firm on the decision that you have taken. Okay? Don't take a decision and then change and again re-change. Don't do that. But you take enough time before you take a decision, and be firm on the decision that you have taken. And finally, be adaptable, because we know changes are constant. This is what people say, and which is true also. And you need to adapt yourself very well for the changing circumstances. And if these are some of the things that I have experienced, and there are your teachers, very learned professors have given you lots of inputs in your last 2 years of your study here, please utilize those tips, use those tips. But finally, there is no solution which is predefined for certain things which you face when you really work. Solutions have to be, you only need to come out with the solution which is apt for that particular situation and a problem. I'm sure that the learning that you had, the training that you had obtained here has enabled you in taking your professional career in a great way. And I just would like to say, when I was talking to Mr. Venkatesh, I was asking about Dr. Rudolph. And he told me that he was a student of LMIT, graduated in the year 1996, right here, from mechanical engineering. Then he is into corporate communications. And more interestingly, which really he did his PhD in history. Am I right? Professor, sir told me. See, so what you study in the college is one part of it, but you may have several different likings. Okay, those things you should not leave. You may be good in singing, you may like to dance, you must continue that. That is where you always should work without any pressure. Lot of good things will come out of you. So this is an occasion that came to me to talk in front of you. I really wish to thank Professor Shankaran and all the concerned for giving me this opportunity. In fact, as I mentioned, Professor respected Vinay Agde sir should have been here addressing all of you. Definitely, I cannot replace him. But as a Sabha Maryada, there has to be some president of the function. And I once again thank all of you for giving me this opportunity, and I wish all the outgoing batch of students very best with their professional career. Thank you.
Salutations to you, sir. May I now invite our director, Dr. K. Sankaran, to present a loving gift to our most loved, distinguished chief guest,
Sri M. Venkatesh. Ladies and gentlemen, I invite my learned colleague Sri Sheetal Kumar, Assistant Professor of our Institute, to deliver a note of gratitude.
Good afternoon, everyone. It gives me immense Venkatesh, the Managing Director, MRPL, for accepting our invitation and delivering a thought-provoking graduation day address. Thank you so much, sir. I profusely thank Dr. Shishiketan, Institute Innovation Center, Nitte University for his gracious presence in this graduation program. I, on behalf of JKSHIM, thank our esteemed controller of examination, Dr. Srinivas, in absence of Dr. Srinivas, I would like to thank Dr. Venkatesh Kamath for his meticulous style of conducting exams and delivering results. We remain grateful to you, sir. I also thank Dr. N.S. Professor Emeritus of our institute for gracing the occasion. Thank you so much for working with us. I also thank Professor Yogesh Shetty, Registrar and Warden in his absence, Dr. Srinivas Shetty, Resident Engineer, Sri Srinivas Hegde and staff, the Secretary Person, Heads of Systems Concern for the support and cooperation. Thank you, Baba. Now I would like to thank Dr. A.P. Acha, CEO of Atal Incubation Center, Nitte for basic education. Thank you, sir. It is a matter of immense pride for me to convey my gratitude to our director, Dr. K. Sir. Gratitude to you, sir. I would like to thank all the teaching, non-teaching staff for the support and guidance in conducting this event. Thank you, everyone. I thank all the students for being here today to share this wonderful occasion. Thank you. We also thank the parents of our proud students who are watching this program live online due to the COVID restrictions. Thank you, everyone. I also would like to thank the student and faculty coordinators for working hard for the success of this event. Thank you, everyone. Last but not least, I thank everyone. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Shishal-ji. Ladies and gentlemen, the students who are here who receive the certificates, kindly check your email ID with regard to sending out the photos to you from the Prakash studio. Okay? And also if you have any difficulty in finding it out, kindly talk to the person who is here, Mr. Mayur. Also, alright? Please check it very properly. You will get the photos online. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Karnataka Rajyotsava Shubhashi Bangela will be celebrating this on 1st November in advance, and also Deepavali greetings to you all. May the light of knowledge, I repeat, may the light of knowledge remove the darkness of ignorance. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly rise to a national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly be seated. Please note, the 22nd graduation ceremony of our institute is leaving this auditorium. Deputy Controller of Examination is requested, Dr. Venkatesh Kamat, yet he will hold the minutes and all the dignitaries on the days will follow him as they assure the auditorium. Ladies and gentlemen, all the students keep standing, and once these dignitaries will take a move, you can join as it is, as it was informed to you. Well, the procession is now. Before that, 1 minute, I invite our President, Dr. Niranjan H. Chiplunker, to declare the graduation ceremony closed.
I declare the graduation ceremony closed.
Thank you, sir. The procession is leaving. Students keep standing. The procession is leaving the auditorium. Very thoroughly lit, the 22nd batch graduation ceremony of the Justice JKSHIM Institute of Management has come to an end with the procession leaving the auditorium. Esteemed members of the faculty, non-teaching staff, distinguished dignitaries, president, chief guests are leaving. That will be followed by our students. The official certificate will be leaving the auditorium one by one. Don't be in a hurry. You need to hand over all your ceremonial dresses to the concerned. Please do it immediately. If you like to take some photos, you can take it outside. We have arranged a nice lunch to all of you. All students have to move to LH 13. 2 counters have been put up there for the lunch. And all dignitaries and all distinguished guests will go to the PGP office, which is Peter County number 1, for the lunch. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Sudeep Raj K signing off.